Hey, what is going on, crypto people? Holy moly, hold on a second. What's going on with this? What the world's going on? I can't figure out. All right. This is live television, fam. This is live television. What's going on, crypto people? So, what is it over? Is it over? Ripple to pay a hefty fine, 125 million in civil penalties. It's interesting. I think there's we're gonna go over Judge Torres' ruling, but she had a little something to say about the fact that Ripple was kind of still doing the institutional sales and trying to make it look kind of like a different kind of way. I think she was in her feelings about that. I thought for sure this thing was going to be less than 100 million. But in any case, there it is. There's the fine. Ripple's got the coffers for sure to make the payment, but we'll get into it. I see that the XRP price was doing a little something because of that, which is interesting. I mean, that's great to see. It was just 50 cents, wasn't it? It was just 50 cents. Now it's 61 cents. So that's cool. We'll see how it goes. I think a lot of people were waiting for this ruling for sure. And I got to tell you, when we kind of get that word, maybe we're going to get a word, interestingly enough, coming out of the SEC with their form of bragging about this penalty and kind of saying, we're good, is it? We're done with the appealing thing. I think these are things that will be awesome to see. I really expect for Gary Gensler to come out some kind of way, trying to pull a win in addition to, and a win from this, fine, but also kind of a way to kind of say, let's put this thing to bed. I kind of get that sense. Chris Larson's post about it, not great. I'll share that with you guys as well. So, but yeah, this is some, and this is nice timing. I like this timing. We can get over the summer doldrum. I think that we'll see what the institutions, how they feel about this being at this phase, with the remedy phase now being over. We'll see how they feel. I've been saying on the channel for a while that we still have this cloud on title. And once we get the cloud on title out of the way, we can begin to do some things. And so we'll see. We'll see. What's going on, Rodwell No Breaker? Hey, C's, I saw you and Jungle Inc. on Crypto Eddie's channel. You're at a 3-minute, 3-second mark. Yeah, I saw that, brother. Yeah, thanks for sharing, man. Appreciate you checking in. Appreciate you checking in. She actually showed it, let me know about that on X. So that was mighty kind of her to do that for sure. So we get this cloud on title, disperse, get it out of there. We're going to see how these partnerships, we're going to see how these 1,700 NDAs, which one of these are, which one of these 1,700 NDAs are people that are looking to participate. We'll see. I'm curious to see what's going on with the Ripple X liquidity incentive event. What's going to happen now? Are they able to do some things now? Hopefully I'm going to find, Jungle Inc. pointed this out in the court document. Judge Torres, she kind of scolded Ripple a little bit. Ripple thought that they tweaked their sales to institutions enough in a way that it doesn't come across as some kind of investment contract, blah, 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 blah. This is after, she ruled about the institutional sales. So she brings up in the court case that even after, admonishing them about these sales being institutional sales, they still continue to do it. Ripple was like, we're doing it with a little tweak and a little twist. And she apparently was not happy with the way Ripple was trying to go around getting this done. So we'll see what this is going to look like. For me, this means more stable coins and why they're going to be launching their stablecoin. They're going to have to do stuff on chain and figure out a different way to generate revenue on chain. So, and I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes for sure. Glenn T is in the building, says it's over. It's over indeed. How are you, Glenn T? SP says, yo, what's good with you, SP? Leo is like, let's go. Yeah. So we'll see, right? We'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting to see. It really is. People are going to be talking about it for sure. I'm very curious to see how Brad is going to put this together in his Brad Garlinghouse and his CEO speak, and how he's going to spin this. We'll see. Reaper76 says, let's go. What a fantastic day for the XRP community. SP is like, finally. Alex Wright, what's going on, my guy? Siege, what up? What's good with you, bro? Looking good, doing this in the building. How are you, bro? Let's go. People are afraid of appeal, says Leo. I think so. Ripple will sell from Singapore. Interesting point. Interesting point. Although Ripple had pointed out that most of this institutional sales stuff was going on outside of the US, but Singapore might have a different feeling on how it's done. I don't know if they got an entity housed in Singapore, and maybe they can do something that way. That's a good point, Leo. And have that entity do the institutional sales thing. You see what I'm saying? That might work. That might very well work. So let's go over some posts on X. Apparently, Jeremy Hogan had something interesting to say about it as well. Let's see. The market, again, let's check out the market. Let me share the screen. Bitcoin's at 55. That's kind of good. I don't know if we're going to get a 53 or 54. All right, so CoinGecko has the total cryptocurrency market cap down 2.8% on the 24 hours. It's at 2.04 trillion in total. Bitcoin is trading at 55,000 again. Ethereum is trading at $2,062 again. Solana is trading at $146 again. XRP is at 61 cents. And on the 30-day, on the 24 hour, it's up 20%. On the 24 hours, up 20%. XRP is. And on the 30-day, XRP is one of the better performing at 42%. So again, I think this is going to speak to be a great test to see how now that people have access to this asset at different exchanges and different regions, what this is going to look like. Or is Ripple going to be able to make more moves? The whole thing with builders, all of that is going to matter. Yeah, Ripple XRP is on the 30 days for sure the best performing, and on the 24 hour pretty much the same as well. So that's great to see. Where's Helium at here? Helium. I thought I saw Helium. Helium is not higher than 43, is it? Render Filecoin Stokes. Any case, thought I saw it, but this is, we're going to have to see how this goes, Reaper76. What's the market going to tell us about this? A Joseph C is XRP, baby. What's going on, A Joseph C? How are you? So, guys, do me a favor, hit that like button on the way in. This is super, super cool. The cloud on title, to me, feels like it's done. It would be awesome to get a confirmation from the SEC. Chris just, Larson said something, but it wasn't great. It was kind of blah. It's kind of blah. All right. So, anyway, I posted that we were live. Jesse Hines is an attorney. He said this: Judge Torres has ruled for Ripple to pay $125 million and stop any further violations of securities law. Again, this was something that was in this ruling that she felt like they crossed the line after she had stated that there were institutional sales and those were forms of securities transactions. She says, Jesse says, this seems like a win for crypto, but to be honest, the injunction tells more of a story. Like I've been saying for years, blockchain companies selling their crypto assets to fund their operations without registering are likely violating securities laws. There are ways that these companies can engage in these sales, like Seed Starter, that may be more difficult but are compliant. For Ripple, the complication will be the injunction. If they have restriction on sales of XRP, where is their income going to come from? None of this affects the XRP utility in the future of the token. With that said, the future of Ripple could be in doubt. So it's time for the community to finally come together and support the builders. Support those that are building on the XRPL, because who knows what will happen to Ripple. But if the builders, like we say Win and Expectar and many others, keep building utility for XRP, the future can be bright. And again, this is a big point. Ripple, in my humble opinion, already was prepared, and they have answers for this injunction and whatever else. So I'm not worried about Ripple's future. I know they got that. We've always said that they're nimble, light on their feet, can pivot in any moment. Fred says this: the injunction was purposely vague. The only thing we know, Fred was Spoley, attorney, litigator, trial lawyer. Well, the injunction was purposely vague. The only thing we know is that it is prohibited. The only thing that, goodness gracious, the only thing we know that is prohibited is what is described in the 7/13/23 ruling and this order. The judge explicitly stated any post-complaint sales, I'm sure that meant to be compliant sales, and newly structured sales are an issue for another lawsuit. I'm trying to think. Hopefully we'll find what's his names as well, Hogan. I really would like to see what Hogan has to say here. Jeremy Hogan from Legal Briefs. All right. So Linda P. Jones said something that is interesting to me. Huge news. It's over. The judge ruled today that Ripple only has to pay a fine of $125 million, not the $2 billion the SEC wanted. Ripple has the cash, and this is no big deal for them. In fact, it is great news because XRP and Ripple stock are now unshackled by this hanging over their heads. Let's watch for a comment by Brad Garlinghouse. Yeah, I'm interested to see that one. We're going to search for Hogan here in a second, but this is Larson's. This is Chris Larson's thing. It's two sentences. Like, he's responding to Garlinghouse. All right, here's Garlinghouse. Let's see what Garlinghouse says. The SEC asked for $2 billion, and the court reduced their demand by 94%. This is the CEO thing right here. That's the CEO thing. By 94%, recognizing that they had overplayed their hand. We respect the court's decision and have clarity to continue growing our company. This is a victory for Ripple, the industry, and the rule of law. The SEC's headwinds against the whole of the XRP community are gone. How about that? How about that? That's from Brad. Okay, I was wondering what he was going to say, and there it is. So we'll keep that one for a bit. I don't know. I have to see. Where is Jeremy? Is Jeremy under? Yeah, there he is. Let's see what he had to say. See, there's some more stuff he's got going on. What was this first one? He's covering the injunction in question as he always does. It says, it's over in all capitals. The SEC versus Ripple case has been quite a journey. Thanks for sharing it with me. 125 million penalty and a generic in all capitals, just like Fred Rispoli was saying. This is important, in my opinion. I just think that people can come unbiased, and then people can come with a bias towards something that they're doing. And I think Rispoli and Hogan come unbiased. So anyway, 125 million penalty and a generic injunction order. And he put the generic in capitals for a reason, because he can read through this stuff. This is a big win for Ripple, no doubt about it. Have a wonderful day. All right. So awesome. We're going to keep that one too, because I might do like a regular video on this one. So here it is. Here's our guy Jeremy giving us the lowdown. Jeremy's an awesome dude. I see a lot of questions reference the injunction. I see a lot of questions reference what the injunction means for ODL sales. I almost put that in my thumbnail for the video. I almost did about ODL sales, but I didn't do it. Jeremy Hogan saying, I don't see it changing the status quo, and he's got in all capitals at all. I don't see it changing the status quo at all for the following reasons. As Ripple has stated, the majority of his XRP and ODL sales are outside the U.S. jurisdiction and not subject to the ruling. Those have and can continue. So why did Torres mention it in the, I don't know. Anyway, Ripple can sell XRP to institutions as long as it sells it under an exemption to registration, which Celsius did that same madness as well. Ripple can sell XRP to institutions as long as it sells it under an exemption to registration. I forget what they call that, but they do have it. You can file under an exemption to register. There are like 5 major exemptions, and it's much easier to fit into an exemption when selling XRP to a business. I can think of 2 viable options off the top of my head. The judge didn't give the SEC the ODL language it wanted, and therefore, if the SEC feels Ripple has violated the order, it would have to move for contempt and present evidence of the violation. This would allow Ripple to then raise its argument that there can be no expectation of profits when the XRP is only held for a second, which is a winning argument to me. Because that's kind of what ODL is. That's why the volume doesn't, that's why the price doesn't change. It's just a bloop, bloop. That's kind of it. It's not, that's why, it's not really impactful, if you will, to the price of XRP, this whole ODL thing. He says here, Ripple's legal team has had the summary judgment ruling for over a year now, and I can guarantee you they have changed how they sell XRP in order to comply. Interesting. Okay. Whether they got too close to the line, quote from Judge Torres, as Judge Torres says, would be something we'll only know if there is a contempt hearing. There might be a couple of other things I'm forgetting, but I have a nasty fever right now, and that's all I can think of. Oh my God, get well, bro. Get well, get well. Summary, this dude's doing this in bed. Goodness gracious. Summary, I think Ripple will be able to use its ODL product. It will just have to be careful how it does. But it's been that way since July of last year. It is hereby ordered, adjudged, and decreed that defendant Ripple Lab Inc. is permanently restrained and enjoined from violating the section by directly or indirectly in the absence of any applicable exemption. Right. And so this is what he's saying. They're going to get those exemption things. Unless a registration statement is in effect as to a security, making use of any means or instruments for transportation or communication, blah, blah, blah. It is further ordered, adjudged, and decreed that as provided in the federal rules of procedure, the foregoing paragraph also binds the following who receive actual notice of the thing. Okay, there it is. So there it is. All right. So this person here asked a question. Yeah. Mickey D. All right. All right. Another question, Jeremy. The SEC have 60 days to appeal by Sunday, October 6th, which, knowing them, they will, Jan. What are they likely to appeal against, and do they stand much chance of getting anything from appealing? Could it go to the circuit court? Jeremy says they have a right to appeal. And if they do, the focus will be on the programmatic sales for sure. So they have a right to appeal programmatic sales for sure. Fred Brispoli's response 100%. Crypto Wolf says it makes no sense for either one to appeal. And that's kind of how I see it. Doesn't make any sense. I mean, certainly, Gerber doesn't have it. The administration is trying to back out of, the hole they've dug for themselves in terms of being anti-crypto. So I don't see it happening. I don't see the appeal happening. Yeah, we'll see if Mark Fago and any of these former SEC attorneys, just one in particular, we'll see what they have to say, because they try to throw shade all the time on crypto. So it's two of them for sure who try to do that. So there it is from Jeremy. And if I had to bet some money, I would bet it more on what Jeremy is saying than anybody else. But if I had to bet, I would be betting it on what Jeremy Hogan has to say. For sure. So Jungle Link's in the building. What's going on, bro? Master Easy is in the building. What's going on, my guy? It's been a long journey. Indeed, it has. Jungle says, it seems like the judge gave Ripple a little bit of a tongue lashing. Yeah, so that's it, a little scolding. So Jungle says, I think they can sell XRP on the open market. It's just not as good as well, Jeremy is coming up with these exemptions. You saying they won't work? Yeah, and that's exactly right. Yeah, I don't know what these exemptions look like, but I forget what it's called, because I know Celsius did it for their Cell token. So yeah, exemptions won't work. Well, it means it's a security offering and your exemption from registering. You can't then resell to the public and thus can't use in a payment. Well, I don't know. I just read you what Hogan said. So I don't know. And he said there's a bunch of exemptions. There's different types, right? He's saying it's like there's 5 different exemptions that you can do. So we'll have to see what that's going to look like. The Muskegon Aristocrat. What's going on, bro? Salute. Glenn T says no problem with ODL. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they move forward with this. It really, really is. And Ripple can figure some stuff out. Awesome. Ripple X needs to fill some stuff out now, right? Ripple X needs to figure some stuff out now. When liquidity incentive event? When is that happening? You got your ruling. You're gonna pay a fine. What are you doing about this TVL or the lack thereof on the XRPL? What are you going to be doing with that? That's what I want to know. Can't be being outdone by ZK Sync and Arbitrum. Right? What you got going on? I want to see that. But I do think the cloud on title is, I'm just going to have to say, I think it's over. I think it's dispersed. This cloud on title is dispersed. Linda P. Jones has something very interesting to say about it as well. So there that is. And by the way, for the XRP holder, ODL is, I mean, Ripple's going to have to figure some stuff out, but they got a big coffer. They're nimble. They're lightweight. They can pivot. I'm not worried about Ripple at all. ODL sells does nothing for the price of XRP. Like it doesn't do anything for the price of XRP. It's just they barely have it. It doesn't do anything. So Ripple can figure out their model. I'm sure the stable coin and this T-bill thing is going to be a revenue generating thing for them, for sure. It's just going to be how are they going to leverage it? I think Jack McDonald is a smart dude. I think he's really, really smart. I think he has massive connections, and I think he's gonna serve the stablecoin, Ripple stablecoin very, very well. So they'll get some revenue from some, they'll continue to get the revenue that they're going to need. But the network adoption ain't gonna be ABC institution hopping on the XRPL, buying some T-bills or whatever they're gonna be doing. That's not gonna cut it. We need network adoption. We need 4 or 5 platforms where the retail person can use. The retail people get the word out to other people. And that's how you create adoption. It ain't going to be some institution that no one's heard of coming on here with $50 million doing something. That ain't going to cut it. So what's going on? 2 things: liquidity incentive event. What do you got right now going on the freaking XRPL that a retail person can get on and do some stuff? You got Orchestra Finance, you got DexFi.pro, and I think maybe Anados. I'm not talking about NFTs. What you got? Equilibrium Games is a game, but what you got? What you got? That's what I want to know. What do you got? You know what I mean? So we'll see how it goes at Ripple. If they have to do something, ODL to me is it wasn't anything in the first place. It wasn't anything. So they're gonna figure out something on the XRPL, and I think the stable coins and these T-bills and what they're looking to do there, that's their new model for revenue now. That's their new model. So we'll see what happens with Liquidity Hub, but other than that, I don't know. Keyless says, hey, Keyless, Jesus couldn't affect XRP price. XRP is a strange asset. Yeah. Yeah, it's strange indeed. Strange indeed. What's going on, Alex G? So, a lot of stuff going on. Got this foundation, like I said, kind of walking away, doing their thing. We'll see what the new one looks like, feels like, for sure. I saw Hodor responded, which I thought was interesting. Said something, he thought that there was some other proposal, and it looked to have people like Ripple and large stakeholders have her say. So I don't know what that's going to look like. I know there are DAOs like that. There are DAOs like that with the biggest holders kind of have the most say. And I will tell you this, you got to be careful with that one. They don't always work well. Kim P says, I believe it's not one or the other. I believe it's institution and network adoption going on the XRPL. Well, yeah, here's what I'll say to that. Just name me a blockchain that has institutions that drove network adoption. Because I haven't seen one. I haven't seen a blockchain that sings the praises of institutions being on there that drove network adoption. Bitcoin didn't do that. Ethereum didn't do that. Solana didn't do that. BNB didn't do that. I think people have become enamored with the idea of institutions and banks doing something, but nothing has happened. It didn't happen for Bitcoin. It didn't happen for Ethereum, and it didn't happen for Solana. Bitcoin got to over $1 trillion without institutions hopping on there doing some stuff. So this whole idea for me, Tim, of institutions are going to come and they're going to save the day. Show it to me. Give me an example. Because year to date, that hasn't happened. Year to date, that didn't happen. MakerDAO had institutions standing in line to come hook up with them after the community did its thing. Yeah, waiting in line to hook up with MakerDAO, waiting in line to hook up with Aave after retail did its thing. So and right now, Ripple don't have that. They don't have retail adoption. They don't have network adoption. So as far as I'm concerned, history is proven out. It's proven out. So Ripple, it's on Ripple X, in my opinion. You got this RippleNet thing, you got this Ripple X thing, but now they're both going to be on the ledger. So we'll see. The biggest challenge with people thinking about these banks and stuff like that is it's out of Ripple's control what Basel III is going to look like and ain't going to look like. The challenge with having this clarity that Ripple needs is that can come and go. Like, you get an administration or a Congress that can change the law and it ruins industries. With the flick of a pen. Just a flick of a pen. And it changes everything. Right? Meanwhile, retail just hopping on public blockchains and devs are building stuff and doing their thing. Right? Now, I saw a post from DS today talking about a project with it was an interesting post. It talked about some project just launched in Solana and is doing billions of dollars in 24 hours, which is more than the volume on the XRPL DEX, I think, in total since its inception. Some crazy stuff. This whole idea of we have to give the market what the market wants, not what we think the market wants. It's not what we think the market wants, right? And that's the issue. That's just a discovery, in my opinion, that David and the rest of the gang over there figured it out. So, this whole idea of an institution is going to come, there's going to be some product here that those customers' institutions want. Who's building this product that this institution's customers are wanting? Who's building that? Who's going to build that? Who's going to build that? So this Open Eden people with the T-bills said they got something coming because I called them out on this announcement because they were talking about announcing something for accredited investors and institutions. All right, cool. And I said 85% of the people can't hang out. So what good is that? And he responded and said, stay tuned. We got something cooking. It's retail adoption. It's always been retail adoption. Always been retail adoption. I mean, BlackRock's in the game. Interestingly enough. But Bitcoin, again, we hit over 3 trillion as an industry. The fastest growing technology in the history of technologies without BlackRock. I don't know why people think we need institutions. Institutions going to save the day and rule. It hasn't proven out to be that way. They're slow movers. I mean, we'll take that little 1 to 3% allocation. We'll take it, but and by the way, I'm not saying that we wouldn't welcome institutions. What I'm saying is network adoption of blockchains have happened without them to the tune of 10 to what 20 billion in just DeFi alone, to the tune of 3 trillion market cap without them. Without them. That's what I'm saying. So network adoption creates demand for the native asset. That's what we want as XRP holders. And I haven't seen any other way to get to the demand for the native asset of the blockchain, but other than creating attention, which draws in retail. Retail includes builders and developers who create network adoption of the chain because of something they're doing, whatever that attention grabbing thing is that they're doing, right? And then you create demand for the asset because the retail people want to come and use the thing. I haven't seen any other thing. Ethereum blew up because it was easier for developers to get on there, and it wasn't breaking. It was secure, but it was easy for people to get to that thing. So they went there. And then all of a sudden you got a Uniswap that comes in and changes the game. That's retail. Uniswap is retail. MakerDAO is retail, right? That's not institutions, that's retail. So do you think the value being put on a ledger will not affect the price of XRP? No, I don't. I don't think just volume on the ledger is going to affect the price of XRP. What it will do is builders will see liquidity. They'll see this TVL. The builders and the people who build, the builders and the owners, they go to where the liquidity is. So the builders will see it, and then they'll come on and build something, and that will help to change the price of the XRP because what they're going to be building will require the use of XRP, not some institution bringing volume on. So again, these builders over here that are building useful stuff, the apps, they go to where liquidity is. They also look at, well, what does it cost to hop on there? And what are my customers having to pay to hop on there? So some TVL from Archax, you know, this 50 million, it's 100 million, or whatever, 100 millions, they say, awesome. The builders will see that and say, there's some liquidity over there. And they'll come over there and they'll build some stuff, if hopefully, easily. That's why I think that, you know, the sidechain thing is going to help, and Pierces and Evmos and Axelar, all that. So they get attracted, in my humble opinion, by liquidity. Builders ain't going anywhere where there's no liquidity, right? That's where they're going to go. That's how it happens. So sure, come and bring 100 million or something and only have, you know, 4.5% of people be able to use it. That's not going to cut it. You know, that's not going to cut it. The numbers come from retail. It's always been that. Every technology is grassroots driven. You know? But we'll take them. They want to bring some TVL. And I mean, right now, I mean, the TVL on the XRPL DEX is less than 500,000. That's not a great number. Dev looking at that, like, they got to eat. Dev's got to be able to afford stuff, right? 500,000. So that TVL will help what? This. So the TVL will help draw the builders for sure. And that'll be awesome. And how we play the institutions coming on there is important. How are we going to play that? That's important as well. Devs, builders, how Ripple X handles that is going to be important as well. But in the end, David's retail. Like, people think David's institution. David's not institution. David Schwartz is retail. Ripple X is retail driven, right? Ripple Net is another thing, but they're coming on the ledger. Remember, they used to hang out outside of the ledger. So let's see what they're going to do. Let's see what they're going to do. Are they going to come on and create demand for the native asset? That's the game. It's proven out. I say this all the time to people. They're like, "Well, so Solana is awesome. Okay, it's awesome. They got the speed. It's not the XRPL, bro. The XRPL is next level. Firedance is going to help tremendously when they get fired in. The XRPL is next level. David said, unfortunately, not a lot of people know how to build on XRPL. Like, we should have known that in 2017. Why are we just finding that out now? And they've done their part with this FMOS and this Pierces and this Axelar. They've done their part. They've done this part. I've said this before. We get this cloud on title away from us, which is what happened today. That's a major win. We got that done. Now it's on Ripple X to create a grassroots movement of builders and people wanting to use things and communities. You can't compare Solana blockchain to freaking the XRPL. There's no DEX like the DEX in the automated market maker that we got. There isn't any. There isn't any, not Uniswap V10 or whatever number they're up to. It don't compare. It don't compare. But we got to get we got to get the people on this thing. We got to get people on it. You got to get them in these liquidity pools, doing this farming. You got to get that stuff. Flare Network's got like 5 things, about to launch on Flare Network. This is what's got to happen on the XRPL. Don't forget Moy Finance. Moy Finance is in the game, both feet. Don't sleep on them. They're going to help create network adoption. I believe that 1,000%. They're going to create network adoption. Lending protocol, unfortunately, is going to be a minute for that thing. Unfortunately. But I'm excited about the future. I just hope that Ripple X figures it out. I hope they figure it out. I'm on Flare Networks in some stuff because they got Flare emissions going on right now. In addition to the Flare drops. Airdrop farming, Flare drops, and emissions is attention grabbing. It's grabbing the attention of retail. The promise of Flare Networks is not the established XRPL. It's still a promise, but they got 3 to 5 things going on over here already. We have to leverage 12 years of not going down, right? What Ripple was doing, in my humble opinion, is trying to appease an audience that were not interested, instead of going to the low-hanging fruit, which is people already in crypto. That's the low-hanging fruit. This is what Flare Networks has figured out. Let's grab the low-hanging fruit and grow from there. But, for me, I'm giving props to this whole foundation going over here to save the world thing and become an INFTF thing. Go save the world. We need people right here dedicated to the XRP ledger, thus the XRP holder. Wait until these people figure out the prowess. These DeFi people. Wait until they figure out the prowess of the XRPL. Just wait. It's going to be more finance. We'll see what Orchestra has. And DexFi.pro, that those people over there, especially the CTO over there, I mean, he's next level. He is next level. So stuff is coming. Just keep that focus on grassroots. I promise you it will work. I mean, we have a nice, robust community. Look, they have to be educated on DeFi, but that's okay. We can educate them. DeFi is awesome when you know what you're doing. It's awesome when you know what you're doing. It's awesome when you know what you're doing. It's awesome. So is the dollar cost average strategy and valuable assets. A lot of XRP holders aren't doing that either, because they got disillusioned with something that is beyond their control. That stuff is beyond their control. Mr. XRP All In, what's going on, my guy? Hi, how are you doing, bro? Life is great, bro. Yosef says exactly 100% Siege. Just Joseph said it's only $500,000 in TVL, but it costs a dev a lot of money to build. They ain't going to use that ledger. Right? And so like Tim P was saying, if our checks, if they come through on their promise, that TVL will spark some interest and curiosity from developers. If they bring 100 million, 200 million, right? I promise you the DeFi project that can really get how they can leverage this automated market maker and extract that value to their potential customer, their potential user, it's game changing, because there's nothing out there like that. In my opinion, the reason why Flare Networks is going to win, because they got a stuff that is unique and it's novel. It's nothing out there like that. Right? And they understand their lane. They understand it's blockchain, right? Blockchain for data and AI. They understand. I mean, they already got, not only do they have flare drops, bro, they got emissions going on. Right? Those are attention grabbers. And then you got things like SparkDex working like it's been around for 10 years. So anyhow, we'll see how it goes. I know one thing, I'm here for the long run for sure. But in the meanwhile, I'm here creating cash flow and wealth and generational wealth for me and my family, while, the people in DC figure stuff out. I don't want to be beholden to the people in DC. Nah. I'm going to participate where DC doesn't have a stranglehold, and build wealth, build assets, valuable assets, take advantage of the year-over-year return on those assets, right? Leverage, not liquidate, if you will. Buy, borrow, and die, if that sounds better to you. And do that, right? We can do that. And let, DC figure some stuff out. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen in November. Like, we don't know. I mean, do we? We don't know. We hope something's going to happen, but we don't know. I don't want to. Why be beholden to them when you don't have to? Why wait around for them to get their crap together when you don't have to? You know, you don't have to. I'm 90 some percent certain that the best thing for XRP is to be in a liquidity pair with the Ripple stablecoin. I'm fairly certain with an incentive event. That's what I think it is. Because they're going to be, listen, they're going to be people from other ecosystems, Arbitrum, Optimism, Aave, Phantom. Just pick an ecosystem. They go shopping for liquidity incentive events, and some stay. Some stay. Wait till they get a hold of anything of value in 3 to 5 seconds for less than a penny. Solana's less than a penny, but they're missing a zero. We got them by a zero. Ha ha! We got them by a zero, baby. We got them by a zero. You can throw in the never breaking down stuff as well. You understand what I'm saying? People think that of course I love Solana because it's available. It's access. There's stuff over there for I can do. Of course. It's got a year-over-year return. Excited about it. But I understand what that XRPL is. It's a monster. We just got to get some stuff on there. Got to get a piece up there, get some people over there. So it'll be interesting to see what Axelar does and Pierces and Evmos, what they're going to do. We'll see. We'll see what's that process for a new person building a thing to transition liquidity to the XRPL. We're going to see. We're going to see what that's going to look like. Flare is talking about doing a little faucet right now. A faucet for people to bridge over to Flare networks. A little bit of change for people from EVMs and all those other places to come on over. It's interesting. Right? Tim P says, I agree with you on that. The builders will come, but the builders will see the value and the liquidity put on the ledger. So in a sense, the value would affect. Yeah, so they're going to see TVL, right? They got to go where there's liquidity. So Ripple X job, right, is, okay, RippleNet, who's ready to come on this ledger with some volume, with some liquidity? It's important. What is it going to look like? And is there a product that we can create that we can begin to attract their customers and the XRP holders and the crypto holders, I should say, and the crypto holders? You know how many people have left the Ethereum ecosystem? Left it and moved on to Solana ecosystem. Solana's eating up the layer twos as well. Why? Why? Because there's a bunch of stuff there to use. It's a good customer experience. It's a good customer experience over there. That's what's needed here. Good customer. And Jungle Inc. said this, I don't know, years ago. It's like, what are you talking about? It's nothing to use. Like, there's nothing to do. What are we going to do? So now, cloud on title, I gave him the pass, but it's over. It's over. Let's see what's good. Let's see what's good. Because there's a prowess in that AMM. And if it's going to be to the benefit of the LP provider, which I believe it is, it's going to be up to, I think it's going to be massively beneficial to the LP provider. I'm excited about that. I really, really am. I can't wait, but they got to come correct with this freaking liquidity incentive event. Steve, the home loan expert's in the building. What's going on, bro? Steve, I'm telling you, I'm liking that sparkdex.ai, bro. I'm liking the UI, UX. I'm enjoying the experience. They're acting like they've been around for, I don't know, I don't know where they came from, but they're acting like they've been around 3, 4, 5 years and what they got going on over there. I'm talking about UI, UX. I'm not talking about whether they know what project is on Songbird or not on Songbird. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about that UI, UX experience and the features. It's looking good. The real big wheels in the building. What's good, fam? What's up with you, bro? Joseph says Ripple should hire you for their marketing team because they don't advertise to us retailers. They could do a lot better job at that. Just break that relationship off and come hang out with the grassroots. Alina's in the building. Did I miss you checking in, Alina? How are you? Appreciate you checking in. I think Kinetic went live today at 1 p.m. Eastern. Is that right, Steve, the home loan expert? Oh, no, you did say that. You said, well, Kinetic is live now. Yeah. I went over to Kinetic. I went over there. Didn't do any lending and borrowing. I don't have anything to stake because I think you're staking Jewel, right? Yesterday they went live? I thought it was today. You also said it was yesterday. Okay. So I went over there and I didn't do any lending and borrowing, don't have any Jewel or stake. So yeah, so it's good that it's live. We'll see. Right now, you got a little bit of TBL going over there. I'm really liking SparkDex, I'll say that. And I think X DeFi protocol is going to be really, really good. I'm not a perps guy, but I think that's going to be really, really good, X DeFi protocol. And I feel like I'm forgetting something. Real Big Will says is having dinner, enjoying the W. Time to go to work. The door's open. I hear you. Keyless, what are you doing over here? What are you doing? What you got going on, Keyless? I have a DeFi play on Binance, 4% a day, locked for 250 days. Oh, okay. I got you. Locked for 250. 250. That's 6 months. That's 6 months. All right. So excuse me. Was there anything that I didn't cover? I shared the video of Crypto Eddie. I shared that. Oh yeah, let me share this from DS because this is an important point. This DS is the expectar guy, I guess, right? He says a random token with no known team members, no WP white paper, no roadmap, no track record, no socials. In other words, it's not great to be investing in. No development, nothing on Solana. Hits a volume of 881,000 USD in 24 months. In 24 minutes, rather. 24 minutes. 881,000. The volume of all tokens combined on the XRPL DEX in the past 24 hours was 240K. The total 24-hour volume of Solana tokens were 5 billion. The total volume of ETH tokens was 23 billion in 24 hours. The difference in token volume between the ledger and ETH is about 100,000x. So we've stated the problem. Now, how do we solve it? That's it. That's where we are. This new foundation is going to be interesting to see the makeup of it and how it goes. If they try to do some weighted thing for, how many XRP you have type thing in terms of proposals, that's going to be, my experience is that's going to be a challenge. They're going to have to figure out a way to make it as fair as humanly possible, because if you don't, then people are not going to participate in governance. They're not going to participate in voting if they feel like, well, the bigger players just win and with their stuff, and they're going to just do something that benefits them, blah, 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 blah. Then you're going to get people who are just feeling disenfranchised and not taking advantage of governance. So we'll see what they come up with. We'll see what they're going to have on this board, what that's going to look like. It's going to be interesting to see. So, I covered everything. Let's go over Band of Bubbles, see what's going on here. Is that refreshed? Let's see what's out doing Bitcoin given the last couple of days events. What's still outperforming Bitcoin year to date? Still 3 meme coins, 2 of them on Solana on Dog with Hat, Bonk, and Brett is on base. OM Mantra is Cosmos SDK play, Cosmos ecosystem play. It's doing well against Bitcoin as well. And then we got our 100% or more players. Floki is 180% better than Bitcoin year to date, and performance-wise, and that's a meme coin. Like, people want to ignore the meme coin thing. I don't understand it. Anyway, Jasmine is 182%. This is an IoT play from the Sony executives in Japan. I think this is going to fare really, really well. This is my opinion, not financial advice. You throw in people, places like Japan and Asia with Sony executives, they like that kind of status stuff. It's the Internet of Things play. They just got some major partnership too for some society that they're going to be building. So anyway, Jasmine, are we 99? Might as well count that 99.48%. Marinade Soul, liquid staking platform on Solana, 258% better than Bitcoin. Undo, 118% RWA play. Let me know if you have any of these in the chat. That would be super, super cool. Undo is kind of taking the lead in the RWA play. I think ahead of Goldfinch, and I think ahead of Centrifuge, ahead of Polytrade. Kind of taking that gain there over IX Swap, etc. 118%. TON, the open network, 139%. Telegram deal. There's Solana, 233%. I own some Solana and some Marinade Solana. It's kind of like S-Flare, or kind of like FLR and S-Flare is Solana and Marinade Solana. Kind of that same thing. 230%. BitTensor is 101%. So we got to count that one in the 100% or more. That's pretty cool. BitTensor. I don't mess around with BitTensor. I don't own any. I think there's a project out there. It's newer, that has a different idea, different concepts, and better technology. So I went with them, but that's a long shot, risky play. But I did go with them, and probably won't see any kind of fruition thing until the following bull market or following bear market. So we'll see. Pepe meme coin on Ethereum. Just notice you don't see the Shiba Inus or the Doge coins, the OGs and meme coins. You don't see those, right? People are like, but why? They're more established. I mean, they've been around. You could trust them, but why? That's what people ask. People ask those questions. Why does the sun rise in the east and set in the west? Instead of understanding what it is. What is the market? What is the market saying? The market has chosen Bonk with Brett Pepe. And even though Pepe is not the real original Pepe, actually it was kind of stolen from Pepe coin. But in any case, there it is. There's Fetch, AI play. And they combine with a couple, 3 things, right? They're combined to be 3 things now. But that's it. As far as 100% or more. Now, are there 60% and 70% and 40%? better performing than Bitcoin? Yes, they are. I just only covered the 100% or more year to date. So any of you guys got any of those? Anybody have any of those I mentioned? Pepe, 240%. Woo woo. Keyless got some of that Pepe. Nice. Joseph says, I have all of these. You got all of them, bro? You have you have Solana, babe? He says, I have all of these but Ondu and Goldfinch. Which Poly? Are you talking Poly, but Ondu and Goldfinch? Poly is my biggest, I don't know. You talking about Poly Mesh or Poly Trade? Nice. You got a nice, Joseph says once a month I'll put 1K in. Nice. Nice. Very nice. I've been buying Fetch, Near, and Casper. Yeah, I'm hoping Casper does this thing. I'm hoping you're talking about CSPR, right? Casper. I'm hoping it's doing this thing. They just announced. Did you see their announcement about Prove AI? This dude, Joseph's like, I have all of these, bro. What you talking? What are you talking about? Alex G says, Jungle, why don't you collaborate? What? I'm trying to see what he's saying here. Jungle, why don't you collaborate with Siege? And oh yeah, he reached out a while back about doing that. So well, I'm sure we'll get together. Wow, that says a lot, says Joseph. Yeah. I mean, I'm not afraid of, you know, changing the game and correcting these numbers and growing from 500,000 TVL and growing it to 5 billion in TVL. But we can't start from, that's the problem with some of these XRP entertaining content creators. They want to start from where they hope we're going to be instead of starting from where we are and acknowledging where we are. I'm not afraid to go from 500,000 to 5 billion, tackle that problem and tackle that challenge and create network adoption. I'm not afraid of that at all. But we've got to be honest with ourselves and accept that this is kind of where it is. Kilo says that's a heck of a DCA in Yosef. Awesome. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. Yeah, I mean, I remember I did that for like 16 months. It was 1,500 to 2,500 a month challenge only in the one asset. That was my mistake. That was my big mistake. It was only in the one asset. Move Accordingly is in the building. How are you? Hope all is well. How is everybody? Everybody, let Move Accordingly know how you doing. Say hey. So they're that kind of, again, I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of going from 500,000. I'm not afraid of those who may be doubting the XRPL. I'm not afraid. Let's go. But you got to provide the incentive. You got to come together. You got to come together and recognize the challenge and recognize where we are. We don't have regulations. Fit 21 Inc., what is that going to do? What is Fit 21 going to do? And does Basel 3, does it affect XRP or does it affect stablecoins and CBDCs? Does it welcome digital assets like XRP or does it welcome stablecoins and CBDCs? Again, and how much say do we have in it? How much say do you and I have in that? That's the challenge. We got to accept where we are, not sitting around waiting, thinking one day they're gonna change. Orchestra Finance and Moy Finance are here. DexFi.pro is here. Without Basel 3, without Fit 21, they're here. Give us a reason to use them. And we'll use them. I'll be the first one. I'll be the first one Give us a reason. And then I'll show people how to do it correctly, not running around clicking buttons. That's not DeFi, babe. I'll show you how to win in DeFi. Joseph said, yeah, you've been called the problem a long time ago. Nobody wants to participate. And you have people selling XRP. That's exactly right. Because people don't understand what it is that they have. They think they know. They don't know the game that they're in. That's the biggest challenge for XRP holders, is they don't understand the game that they're in. That's the biggest challenge. You got to know the game you're in. That's the biggest challenge. And a lot of times it takes about 5 years to figure that out. Right? But we're getting educated on the game now. I didn't know in 2017, 2016, 2017. I was selling Bitcoin and Ethereum, selling it, buying it and selling it for crap and high yield investment platforms, doing videos on it. Bitcoin less than $800. Ethereum, I don't even, God knows what that was. I had no idea what I was doing. None, zero, nada. Everybody's got to go on that learning curve. All retail people. I mean, people coming from Goldman's and JP Morgan and hedge funds, they've learned that game. Right? They've learned it. We got to figure it out. That's right, Joseph. You're right. A lot of projects bounce back. Casper's on the come up. Casper took a little bit of an L. They're on the come up. A lot of projects bounce back, says Joseph. Look at Solana. Everyone was like it's dead when it was $8. I bought back when it was $9. Joseph making all kind of right moves, bro. And Solana, some are saying 700 to 1,200 for Solana. Good night, right? That's right. What's going on, Pookie Pookie? Raffy's in the building as well. Pookie Pookie, Raffy's here. The gang is here. Joseph says, taking things seriously this time. So 1,000 ounces is a huge sacrifice for me living here in San Francisco. Yeah. I was just going to say that it takes time and experience. Got to have been through some bear markets and some bull runs to learn. It takes 5 years. That's why people can't be hard on themselves, right? It takes 5 years to figure some stuff out. And then you spend the next 5 years showing that you know what it is that you know. That's how it's played. That's part of the game. That's how it goes. But retail coming in didn't know that. Everyone got enamored by the 2017-18 thing and lost their way, lost the plot, as we like to say. So I'm here to remind them. Joe Buddy's in the building. What's going on? I think the 125 million is enough for the SEC to take their 125 million winnings and go home a winner. I agree. I think that Gary Gensler is going to, spend it a little bit and celebrate this $125 million win and, put it on his resume for a Treasury Secretary Treasury spot or something. That's what he thinks. I think that's what he's going to do. But I got to tell you, getting this cloud on title away, get it dispersed, get it off of us, it's going to be good. I do think it's good. Let's see what RippleNet is going to bring and RippleX. Remember, there's supposedly 1,700 NDAs, supposedly. I just want to see who's going to hop on that ledger from RippleNet, who's going to hop on there and create some demand for XRP. Bring the volume, awesome. Bring in the volume, like Tim P says, it's going to attract the developers. Bring your volume, whatever that, I don't know. Bring it. Let's have it on the XRPL. Awesome. Like, remember, Andu, Andu's products, right? That BIDL, whatever that, BlackRock's BIDL, that's not available to regular people. Andu, the token is, though. Right. So let's get that done. Oh, I don't use Facebook. Are you talking to me, Mr. XRP? That's what I heard, Keyless. I heard it was 1,700 NDAs. Mammy? Is this the infamous Mammy and from X? How are you? Yosef said, I started rocking with CKJ back in 2019, 2021, taught me a lot. Yeah, he's a nice deep diver, bro. Deep research, consistent every single day doing his thing. And, his $100 challenges, I participated in a couple of those $100 challenges. I still got XCN. I don't know what's going to happen with it. I think I still have it. Did I get rid of my XCN? I took his $100 challenge with XCN, but I might have exited that. But he has great, like, I don't even know. I have this in my portfolio, but I don't know if I still have this. And the EGLD was his call that he made for sure. And I think he did Matic as well. But yeah, he finds his stuff. Mammy, is this the same Mammy from on X? So that's kind of where we are, right? Great news. This thing, it's feeling like it's over. It's feeling like we over. It's feeling like it's over. Cloud on title, done, over, toast. That's what it's feeling like. I just want to get that word from the SEC. I just want to see hashtag Gary Gensler's not your friend. Do his little post celebrating the win, holding Ripple accountable, blah, blah, blah. I want to see that and get some kind of hint that, oh, he says, hi, I'm from Morocco. Okay, gotcha. Welcome to the channel, bro. Welcome to the channel. Kind of get that thing over with. And so in the coming weeks, shouldn't we hear some announcements? In the coming weeks, it's going to be interesting next, I would say 30 to 60 days from Ripple X. It's going to be a very interesting 30 to 60 days. Did you message me on that? Let me see something. I got mad at Facebook because my ad account was demolished when I was marketing. It was demolished. Oh, I have to sign it. And that was pissed me off. There's my email. You can the email for the challenge right there. You can use that, Mr. XRP All In. Joe says, the Ripple stablecoin SEC not appealing in under 60 days? Yeah, I know they got 60 days to do it, so that's going to be my thing for sure. You know what I mean? Yeah, I hear you, Yosa. Oh, Keela says Facebook has a hard system in handling business accounts. Absolutely hard. Yeah. I mean, absolutely worse. I mean, it's the worst. I mean, it's the level of apathetic and incompetence over there is brutal. So I'm like, I don't even go to my personal page anymore because, like, look, dude, I've been advertising here for years. What's going on? You can't fix this issue. They were terrible, man. They were terrible. Terrible. And I was just starting to win too when they did that. Gary has lost his job. The game is over, says Mammy. Indeed. Indeed. So there it is, fam. Look, like Jungle was saying earlier, this is a win. Let's don't forget, we've already won. This is just another win for sure. I'm really looking forward to what's going to come out of Ripple X. Any announcements from RippleNet in these next 30 to 60 days is going to be interesting to see. Let's see if Brad Garlinghouse is going to get on some kind of tour and do some of that touring stuff. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button. That would be super, super awesome if you guys could do that. It really helps with getting the channel out to more people. We always like to have just as many likes as we have viewers in the stream. So if you could hit that like button now, that would be really, really, really awesome. Let me see here. All right. That would be super, super cool if you guys could do that. Let's get those likes going up for sure. That would be excellent. Joseph's like, yeah, I don't mess with social media. I have Facebook, but don't post anything. I hear you. Right. And so that, that was like very disheartening. I'm like, you know what? Let me figure out a different way to market because this, Facebook stuff is just not great. So anyway, so I put that on pause. We'll see. We'll see. Because unfortunately I didn't back up my stuff. So my, I used to do my own ads. I used to run my own ads. I used to write my own ad copy and build all my stuff. And the ad copy was really like the main thing for me. I could do the lead magnet and I could do the funnel. No problem. But that ad copy I didn't keep. A lot of people I follow have left YouTube and went to Kick. K-I. Is that K-I-K? What's Kick? What's Kick, Yosef? I never heard of Kick. Siege. Keela says, Siege, you know anyone that does SB something in the hospitality? What's SB? SB? Oh, SEO. I do not. In the hospitality industry, no, I don't know anyone who does that. Joseph, what is K-I-C-K? What is Kick? Left YouTube to go to Kick? What is that? It's going to be very, very interesting to see Mickey B. Fresh's fresh drop is happening. Join live. Okay. I've never heard of Kick. It's another streaming platform? Really? K-I-C-K. I have to look that up, man. Thank you. So the remedy things is over. Let's see what's going to happen in the next 30 to 60 days. Let's see if Ripple has been preparing for this win and Ripple X, have they been preparing for this win? Let's see how goes that. JR says we made it. More freedom of speech over there. Good. That's good. I'm going to check that out. K-I-C-K streaming. Okay. Eva says, I am not on it and refuse to get on it. Yeah, I closed my TikTok account. But TikTok is very lucrative for ads and eyes. It reaches Have you thought about that? Maybe it's worth it. Yeah, I have. And I might. Honestly, I really might.
You might. Honestly, you might.
Yeah. I mean, I have thought about TikTok and I might. My marketing stuff. So we'll see. Miss Crypto sees. I don't. She's all right, fam. There it is. Thank you so much for hanging out, JR and Keyless, the lady of crypto, Mammy. I appreciate you guys checking in. Yosef, my guy, I appreciate you being here. Mr. XRP All In, thanks for checking in. Joe, thanks for checking in, bro. Oh, Mammy was in here for a little bit. Pookie, the Blue Renters were here. I appreciate you guys checking in. Rafi, my friend, I appreciate you checking in this evening. I'll make sure I don't forget anybody. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button on the way out if you didn't do so on the way in. It helps with the channel big time. Yosef says Spark, Dex, and Stargate. Yeah. I'm telling you. Alex Yeet, the Blue Ranger, checked in. Thanks, Gary was here. Appreciate you checking in, my friend. Alina, thank you so much for checking in. Tim P, as always, thanks for the back and forth. I appreciate you guys. Steve checked in. The home loan expert. Appreciate you being here. Jam 2.1, I miss you checking in. Appreciate you being here. Jam 2.1 is on FLR. He loves FLR. What else we got? Come on, what's going on? Was that it? That's not it. Oh man, this thing got so big I can't even share the whole thing. Glenn T and SP and Leo Messi, Alex Wright, looking good and doing it. A Joseph C and Master EZ. I appreciate you guys checking in. And as always, Jungle Ink, I appreciate you, my dude. Rod Neville Brega, the Muskegon Aristocrat, I appreciate you checking in. Inkpen 27 and XRP Nick. I appreciate you guys checking in. I'm going to end this live stream. Oh, by the way, if you're hanging out, listening to and watching the Crypto Season, you haven't clicked that subscribe button, you can go ahead and do that now. No worries. No worries. We'll welcome you to the channel. We're trying to take that number from about 45 to 50% of people who are watching and listening and haven't subscribed down to about 25% or so. And you can do your part by subscribing right now to the channel. That will be super, super cool. And don't forget to ring that notification bell, baby, so that you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this one like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this, perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.